Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill, and this is me, live at work. So, first of all, let's push that back just a touch there. Yeah, we don't need all of this. So, what are we going to do? I think what we're going to head into is going to be automated testing for this mailer stuff. I think that's what we're headed into. By the way, in case you're wondering, there is the who to follow today is Postmark. So I put their guides in, and actually the company Wildbit, just in general. That would be, follow them on Twitter, follow Postmark. I don't think they really tweet that much, whatever, but just keep them in your sights. They have other great products too that you've probably heard of other than Postmark. I think they have a few that, let's see, products here. Oh, and my Mountain Dew is empty, unfortunately. But my Taco Belly is full. That's the good news. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of this stuff, but they've made, the accessible palette. That's a really cool thing that they've made. This is a color palette that is based on the way that we visually perceive color rather than based on how it's easy to mathematically compute color for typically the way that I'm not going to go into it. You can read the article. They link to a blog article here. There we go. Accessible palette. Stop using HSL for color systems. So they obviously you can see visually these colors look similar to one another, but they don't follow the standard color palette because the standard color palette isn't made for. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. So Delarn. Oh yeah, no open focus for this session because I already sipped my focus. And all that's left is caffeinated water at the bottom, I guess. Something does feel a little missing though. I don't know what it is. Oh, I do know what it is. It's that my chair, now, see, I bought the new, it can go all the way up this high, which is pretty amazing. But then I think I'm going to have to return it again. Because it goes down to this without me making any adjustment, and then if I get out of the chair, this is the odd thing, it actually leaks more. Are you on the new Mac? No, I am not. The new Mac is in the bag. This is my iMac workstation. So, if I could just find a way to get a decent screen, and then I'd hook everything up. But the only decent screens are the Apple screens. If you know of another decent screen that isn't an Apple screen, I would love to know about it. But I am not willing to put out $10,000 for an Apple screen right now. And the iMac screens no longer function in target display mode, I found out. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and log in here, and we're going to start automating these tests. Oh, you know what? Apparently, I need to go add my passwords. 1 second. Not add my passwords. I need to add my public keys to my keychain. There we go. So, dang it. This chair is never going to sit up the correct height ever again. I think I'm going to return this one. I think I'm going to buy another one and return this one as well because this just sucks. I don't know why they even bother selling these things. Again, I'd pay twice as much if I could get one that works. These the cylinders, the gas cylinders for the chair to keep you up high. Anyway, so here we go. What am I doing? I'm going into the dev folder, and I'm going to take that thing that I did in curl, and we're going to turn this into an automated test. That's what we're going to do. And I'm trying to remember how I go about doing that. First, I need to adjust my chair again. I can't believe I bought a new cylinder, and it's already... I already replaced the last one, because the last one they shipped me wasn't any good. And I thought, maybe it's just a fluke. No, they're just crap. I think that's what you get when you pay $20, but where can I pay more? How could I give them more money? That's what I want to know. How could I give you more money for something that works instead of something that doesn't? My old gas cylinder was better than this. The one that I just, well, I still have it sitting there. I could pull it out and I could put it back in. It would work better than this is working. Okay, so we're going to turn this into, yeah, we're going to turn this into JavaScript. So first thing, of course, if we want to turn something into JavaScript, is we rename the file, right? Yeah, that's what we do. And then we replace curl with request and URL. And then we replace that with headers and quoting. And then we replace this with JSON. And then we get rid of the quotes. And then we close it all out. Oh, we got to close that out. Yep, and then we close that out. And this is going to have to be an async, and this would be an await. And then we'd probably want to get the response. And then, of course, we'd want to get our request. There we are. And then what else do we need to do? All right, that's what we're expecting to get. And I think I already have this partly somewhere else, but I just want to go with this one. All right, so if we do the order, then we should get back a response. And I guess we can just hand back the body, probably to json.body. That should be good. And then what else could we do? We could probably do if not resp.ok. We could throw an error. And this would be unexpected response. And let's just do let error equals. Then we can throw error, and we can say error.response equals resp.toJSON. And then there we are. So now we've got that. And then we'll need a little main function where we're going to need to do a couple of things. So we're going to need to do the test. Hey, Sassy, what's up? We're going to need to, I'm converting a bash script to a JavaScript automated test. So I'm just replacing curl with JavaScript. Also, let's do let x. No, I'm going to do this. How shall I do this? Like so? Like so, like that? Here we go. Oops. Oh, nope, not that one. Yeah, we'll just do it like this. That'll be good enough for now. Okay. And then I'm going to comment out the rest of this for a second. So we're going to need to do a couple of different orders. We're going to need to do one that's going to fail. And we're going to need to do one that's going to succeed. Yeah, I already have part of this done somewhere else, so I'll go a little light on it. Okay, we're going to need a main function. I should probably copy from another file where I've got some tests going already so that I'm not just redoing the same stuff that I always have to do. Send template with code. Let's see, where's, yeah, if main, we do this. We do this like this? Yes, that's how we do it. Okay. Oh, and let me go grab from this other one. What's good, man? That's a good question. What is good? What is good? What is good, man? These are the questions of our time. Let's see, colors. Green, yeah. There we go. That's good. I don't think we actually need the database connection. Oh yeah, I should do the whole mock server setup on this, huh? I don't want to do that right now. We're not going to go that far. I'm going to go as far as the colors. This is how far I'm going with this right now. All right, and what's it complaining about? Main, because we don't have a main function defined. Bah humbug. We'll get our main function defined. Okay, so async function main. What are we going to do in main? We're going to run order. We're going to await order. So we're going to let O equals await order. I could call that create order, whatever. We're actually going to call this receipt. That's what we're going to call it. So we should get a receipt back, and then we should be able to check the status. So we should be able to do call status on receipt dot receipt is probably what it's going to be. Receipt dot ID, and then we are going to need to do this thing for when it's in dev mode to give us back the code, the secret code, so that we don't have to actually go check email. Let's call this, I'm going to call it check instead of status. It sucks when a verb is a noun. Oh, status is not a noun. Check, is not a verb. Check is a verb. There we go. But check is also a noun. All right, so that's that. You can get rid of all these. Okay, so let's go ahead, and our order bit is not going to be too cray-cray. This should, we're going to swap that out with base URL. Let base URL equals, for my purposes right now, it's going to be that. And so then we're going to turn this into a template string, of course. And this is going to be base URL. All right, we don't need that header because it's implied by JSON there. So cool. And then this is what the response looks like. Let's just go ahead and put some spaces in there so that it looks nice. I would let it auto format, but it would get rid of the quotes, and I don't want it to get rid of the quotes because I want to look at it as actual JSON as it is. So there we are. What else? Unexpected response. Yeah, it looks good. And I kind of want to just take this thing right here, and we will call this, this is what we'll do. I've done this in a couple other places, .then must OK. So we'll have a helper function that will be called must OK. And as you might be able to guess, must OK will either, will validate that the thing is OK or throw. And then it returns the body back. So there we are. Cool. And then from here, we're going to, yeah, so we got our order. We're going to create a check function. And then it's just going to be a little bit less. Well, I do want to fill that in with whatever comes back. But this is going to be status. It's going to be a get, so there's none of that necessary. But what we do need to do is say search is equal to, and we're going to need the query string module. Dot stringify, whoops, dot stringify. So we're going to do, let's see, let's put up here. That query string, let's put the capital Q on that, equals require query string. There we go. And we're going to stringify The check is going to have the ID and the receipt. And that's what we're going to stringify. Like so, like that. And then we will tag this onto here. Search. Voila. And then here, let's just put in code. And we'll let this do either or. So this can be empty, this can be empty. We'll supply them either way. Okay, ID cannot be empty. All right, so then have we pretty much covered that then? I think we kind of sort of have. Oh, wait. So with our check, all right, so the receipt should get back the code. So we should be able to check with, let's say we're going to check this way. And let's go back to where we had this. Let's throw these in an object. I like that better. And then we're going to do the same thing here, except we're going to have receipt. I think it's going to be called code. So what we should be able to do, yeah, let's just check that everything works in the happy case. We're going to be doing the happy case check first. So we're going to log status again. And then, let's see. Then we're going to do our redeem step. Redeem, and that needs to be done with the code. And then we don't have a redeem yet, but that's going to be this one. So we got status and confirm. I'll just call them both check. That's fine by me. And then we can call this one redeem. And we're going to do a post on that. And then I think it's pretty much the same thing. We're just doing this bit. We don't need that. And this one's going to be finalize, I think is what we call it, which shouldn't be the name. That's actually a poor name, I realize now, because you can still take an action on this after you finalize it. Okay, so that should be the redeem step. And what I need to go look for is, it's going to be in the other code base, actually. So I'm going to go back to the auth 3000 code base. Why does it feel wrong? What's missing? Is there not enough light? We've got the purple light on. Oh, the camera's set in the wrong lighting mode. That might be one thing. Okay, there. Now the camera's in a better light mode. We could probably take that down one notch, actually. Let's do it. There we go. Okay, that feels a little better. But oh, it's the Mountain Dew. We didn't pop a top because I've met my quota for the day. But something also feels a little empty. Maybe something that's normally on that makes a little bit of noise isn't on. I don't know. Just something feels off. I don't know what it is. It's bugging the daylights out of me, in case you can't tell, in case that's not abundantly apparent by me referencing the thing. Let's see. Oh, my monitor was taken out. That's what it is. See? Got kicked out of the program. A nickel to whoever catches that reference. But that's not it either. My monitor has been out for a long time. I was kicked out of the program long, long ago. Let's see. So I need to test for, I think it's in lib, magic link. There's all this development code, send secret verification code nonsense. That was a stupid idea. It's too complex. All right, so is dev. Yep, okay, and then environment.env. Node.env? Development. Okay, cool. So that's going to be turned on there. And we just need the new one. Development send secret verification code. Development send secret verification code. There we go. Nice and long. So we have to have it in development mode, and we have to have this option turned on. So we've got that, and then what else do we have to do? I think we have to put in the request something similar. The body has to have this whole bit in there in the request. So we'll do that. We'll put that in the request for the test stuff. And then it has to be made from localhost. All those conditions have to be met in order for it to give back the code willy-nilly. Well, not willy-nilly, because all those conditions have to be met. All right, so then here, wait, why was the data foo and bar? But anyway, let's set that to true. And what else? Gosh, I gotta use manual ISO more often. This looks so much better. Telling you, manual mode is always better if you can take the time to do it. I'm pretty sure this is on a custom color as well, because I don't know where my gray card went, but I have my gray card that I took a picture and held it up, and so I should capture the color of the room. Well, I guess correctly at night, not during the day, because then the sun's out. But I don't know what mode I've got it on, but it's good enough. It works. So this should be good, and I should get back the code. And what I'm going to do for this, let's see, to do limit number of orders per email. That's a functionality that we're dropping, unfortunately. Got a little piece of dirt on the screen there. So let's just say we're going to do a process.exit after this. And return. Okay. And we're going to console.log receipt, but we're going to do better. We're going to do JSON.stringify el recito. All right, there we go. Do 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 do. Ba da da da. Da 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 ba da da da. Oh, we did not return. Let's make sure that we return in all of these cases. Yes. Okay. We shall try again. All right, cool. But I did not get the code back, and ostensibly I should have. Because I put in the whatchamabob, right? Data, development, send secret verification code, right there in the order. So I should, in theory, All right. All right, now I've got some stuff up over here so I can watch things. What was that? Sounded like a power something something. All right, development, send secret verification code. It's here, there, it's everywhere. All right, dev send code. All right, so where's our dev send code? If development, console.log, debug is dev, develop, yeah, that's true. All right, dev send code. Isn't that redundant? Because then we just say this. Yeah. All right, let's make sure that this actually gets through all the way, because it may not. So we got create router, development send secret verification code. Whoops. Does that make it through from session? Because it may not. Ah, it doesn't. That would be why. So development send secret verification code. Why did I change this? I see what's going on here. So I deprecated one and I dropped one in one place and another in another place, and it wasn't the same one. That's my problemo. So I need to go. Should probably just rename that to dangerous send code or something. Dangerous send code. Is that too long? Whatever. All right, so I'm going to go restart over here. And then let's run the test stuff again. Do we get the code back? Still didn't get the code back. I did get a debug is dev over in my console. Let's do console.log debug dev send code dev send code. Let's see what that one turns out to be. That should be true as well. Well, that should not be undefined. Oh, there it is. All right, that's good there. And then let's just see dev send code, dev send code, and then let's see is local. So one of these is failing. This seems that it should be an or. Local hosts includes remote address, and rec.ip includes, those are the same thing. And not rec.ip or, yeah, this bit right here doesn't make sense. I think that I've got some logic wrong. So it should be, oh, I think I see what I'm doing. No, this does make sense. Because what I'm optimizing for the socket having a remote address. Okay, that's my wife sending out messages to the fam. Maybe the problem is the chair. Maybe, well, with this gas cylinder, it seems that moving the chair causes it to think that the button's been depressed. It's sinking. It's sinking right now. You can see it. You can see it sinking. And if I shift my weight, it sinks more. Being tall. Tall probs. All right, what I got? I got dev send code is undefined. That doesn't make any sense at all. It should at least be false. Okay, let's check out everything here. Development, send, secret, verification code. All right, and let's go in here. Development, send, secret, verification code. Okay, and let's look in here. Development, send, secret, verification code. Looks like that should be going through. All right, I'm going to restart, run this again, and then check to see what we get. Nothing because the server hadn't started up yet. Okay, now let's check it out. Okay, I'm going to go back into, is it this one? Yep. All right. Now, that was an error. So restart again. Run again. Okay, so is local is false. And somehow, which I really do not understand, okay, I can see here that development send secret verification code is absolutely true. Absolutely. So let's take a closer look. Let's go first into session. All right. So I think the first problem might be that we're not checking out my options here. So this should be my options. Well, let's see. Where else are we doing that? Create router. Development. If development and not. Yeah. Okay. Well, this one I'm a little bit curious about, because what it should be is my options dot development. And then this one should be my options dot this whole thing. So that little bit I'm going to have to carry over. I'm just going to copy probably a couple of these files over into the local repo, diff them, and then apply the appropriate changes. All right, so that's, got that fixed. Good. Okay, so maybe it is a matter of weight, because it seems that when it gets down about halfway, it holds. It just sinks until that point. You know, another thing I've noticed is that with ones in the past, you kind of got to prime them a little bit. And then, but again, that's not what I'm paying for. I'm not paying to have the same problem that I already had. Just watch me slowly sinking. And then it gets to here and it's stable. Maybe there's a law of physics that I don't know about, kind of like the speed of light, where when you're a tall person, the gas cylinder, no matter which one you pick, will always come down to this height. It's just the highest that you can ever get, no matter which gas cylinder you buy. There's just a universal constant that this is as high as it can go. And maybe if I was short, then it can go higher. But because I'm tall, it must sink down to this level. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are gas cylinders conspiring against me? Or is it just a weird, quirky experience that I'm having? I want to know what you think. Easy says atmospheric pressure. Thanks, Easy. I like you're using science. Okay, so now I'm still really confused because it's still saying that this is undefined. So let me see here. This one, it's my options, right? My options. And this is ops. And was it because that one does it doesn't have? Somebody help me out here. What's going wrong? So I'm requiring this. I'm setting development. I'm setting development send, and let's just make sure that it matches development send secret verification code. That's the whole thing. I'm matching it completely. We're gonna check this out. So this is essentially that's the create function. Oops, I don't know what I was doing there. Okay. That's the only place that it's referenced. Okay. And then we're going to go into node modules and we're going to check out auth 3000 and we're going to see there's a couple places where it's referenced. Lib session, lib magic link. So, and it's not just false, it's logging out as undefined. So let's go take a peek at that. All right, and it is with an underscore. So there's that and there's that. Let's go ahead and make sure, whoops. All right, so there's that one, there's that one. They are exactly matched. There's this one and there's this one. They are exactly matched. And this is ops, yep. And that's ops. Okay. Those are the only places they can be. That's create router. So let's go in and make sure that it's create router that we're looking at it from. Magic link. Okay, create routes. But create router has ops, passes them to create routes. It's set to false by default. Oh, wait, you know what? Hold on. I see what it is. Dev send code. Sorry, I was looking at it wrong. My bad. Dev send code is what appears to be undefined because it's saying undefined, true, undefined. All right. So I was misreading that. So let's look at dev send code now. This one, development send secret verification code. All right, let's go make sure that was coming through. Okay. I'm just going to delete this whole thing. I just copied it, paste, boom. So it must come through. Oh, you know what the problem is? It's nested in the wrong place. That's why. We're having a problem with it. Should be, let's just put it up top. Should be at the top level. Okay, that problem is solved. But we still are going to have another problem once we solve this, which is that I go to magic link here. Is local is coming back false, and I want to know why. So let's do console.log debug. This is something where if I was really good with my copy buffers and macros and that sort of thing, I would do better, I guess. rec.ip. And then let's see what local hosts. So these are what local hosts are permissible. That seems reasonable to me. And then yeah, so we'll see what this is about. So we should just go ahead and put all these in here. So we should see 2 trues. Whoop, that's wrong. That's way wrong. There we go. All right, I'm restarting the server. And let's run the test again. Okay. Now we're getting dev send code true, true, true. That's good. Oh, interesting. I don't know why that would be. Interesting. And I know. So, funny thing that's happening here. Let's see ifconfig. What's the server's address? 137. Okay. So it's resolving its external IP address and it's connecting on that network interface. And that's why it's claiming to be false. So I don't think about this. I'm just going to eliminate that for right now. I'm going to eliminate this requirement. Because I am. Okay, this makes more sense now what I was doing here. The raw connection is local and the proxied connection is local. So rec.ip, because trust proxy is in place, is going to give us the proxied connection. Why it's showing as an external IP address when it's coming from the same machine? I think it's just because it's resolving to that interface by using DNS. It's not smart enough to say, oh, this is the same machine, I'll connect on localhost. And why would it need to? Because the network address is bound. It doesn't have to go outside of the machine to connect to an address that it's bound to, because in this case, localhost and the public IP address are synonymous for the purposes of being able to connect to the server. So it is. Okay. So I'm just going to throw in here or true. And then we're going to do this one more time. Whoops, I did not want to save that. This time it's going to work, as we can see, because I don't know why that didn't work. Giving out the secret verification code to localhost in development mode. So it seems to think that it gave it out, but the reason that it didn't is because I haven't updated the other code in libauth to allow for that. So let me go back here. Wait. Development secret verification code equals c.code. So why does c.code not exist? Verifier.set, c.create, c.notify, undefined, c.code. So I guess what we're going to need to do is console.log c right here. Maybe I should just put this in my buffer. Let's make that D. My D buffer is console.log debug. There we go. To set a buffer in Vim, all you do is hit the double quote and then a letter, and then you hit Y or double Y. And you can make your visual selection with V. So you hit V to select. So I can select all this. I hit quote D and then Y. And now that's in my buffer D. Anyway. Okay, we're going to check this out. I'm restarting. Logs are going over there on my other screen. And this is going to drive me insane that the chair is constantly lowering. Okay, code is undefined. Why is code undefined? Let's go take a look at that. Let's go take a look at verification and set. Okay. I thought I was making a copy of this. It turns out I am not making a copy of this. That's why it's undefined, because I literally am getting rid of it. So what I need to do is, I guess, before I set the code, that's not really clear. What's the better way to do this? I could do let code equals c.code. I could say that the create function returns, Anyway, could do this way. That would work. And I will restart. And I will run this, and we shall see state is undefined, probably because I didn't pass state. Code is still undefined. I don't know how the code is still undefined, because I'm pretty sure we both all saw. By the way, I'm just going to back this up real quick. Oh, I'm still in Bash. Silly me. There we go. I'm just going to back that up in case I do something and my work is lost. I'll just back it up to a file there. Hello, I'm AJ. What's your name? I'd love to know who you are, where you're from, and what brings you to the channel today. And as always, if there's any questions that you have, feel free to ask them. I'm happy to answer as I can. Okay. Makes sense that this debug shows the code is empty. Let's say this code and C. Also, we need to update our test to actually put state. I don't know why I said data there. That was probably, I was probably saying something when I typed that, because this was supposed to be state, I'm pretty sure. Okay. One more time. One more time. All right, restarting the server. Sorry, all the interesting cool stuff's happening over in the logs on the other screen that you don't get to see. Hey, unexpected response. Didn't expect a bad gateway. That's just because the server was still firing up. There we go. Development secret verification code. All right, so that's coming through, and then it looks like the state object's coming through. Ordered at didn't come through. That's strange. How did we get an ordered at, but we didn't get, we got an expires at, but we didn't get an ordered at. Umcar. Hi, AJ. First time on your channel after recommendation from Kai Henry's channel. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take a look at some more of his stuff and potentially, you know, set him as one of my who to follows. Although I think he's quite a bit bigger than I am. So, Omkar, welcome. I do very candid coding on the channel most of the time. I have a secondary channel where I post more high value content that's condensed and short, but I will code for 2, 3, 4 hours and just work through problems as I actually really work through them. I try not to be too staged. When you're in front of a camera, obviously, you know, occasionally you do things that you don't do in real life, but I try not to try. Promise not to try, not to mess with your mind. Promise not to mind if you go your way and I go mine. Eve 6, Promise. Excellent song. And I do get to be a little bit more myself in some ways than I do in real life. Because this is who I really, really am, that I would want to be all the way or all the time, is somebody who just bursts into random songs as a response to a question or thought. So that's not just for the camera. That's actually more authentically me, because this close circle of people that don't mind my personality at all, and it's not distractive to anyone else because there's no one else here. Distracting. Okay. So the problem that I had, that I was coming in this file back, no, I need to go back into this file, and I need to figure out why it was ordered at. Why was that ordered at? We have expires at, but we don't have ordered at. That makes no sense. None senses. Let's go back to the create. See right here, notify, and then set. So maybe my create function is missing ordered at. Where's my create function? Oh, that's me. Oh, no, not that create function. This create function. This is the one that we need to be worried about. Okay, where is ordered at is date to ISO string. So it should not be possible for this to be undefined. I'm very confused because here, let's see, new date, d value of plus parse duration. I mean, at worst, that should be nan, not undefined. So ordered at. Does it get overwritten at some point? That seems to be the real deal value right there. And we've got duration. Duration is 24 hour. Let's see. What else is it based on? It's based on new date. So that's going to be correct. So we're taking millisecond value of the date and adding it to, I just go to parse duration here. Just make sure. So hour, 60 times 60 times 1000. And then wrap that around. So yeah, so that's returning, and it says right here at the top, takes a duration string, returns milliseconds. Okay. So quite confused as to how ordered at could be expiration equals, just doesn't make sense. Something smells funky. Ordered at. So let me muse over this for just a second here. Debug. See, right here, how could it be missing? Secondary channel name? Oh, sorry, that is Beyond Code Bootcamp. That is the other channel. It's actually, are you on YouTube? Yeah, you're on YouTube. So if you check down in the doobly-doo, you'll see I've got a bunch of related and unrelated links, and one of them will be Beyond Code Bootcamp. That one I post to far less frequently because I actually have to kind of create a script and create lesson material-ish stuff and yada yada. All right, does anybody see what's going on here with the ordered at? How could that possibly be undefined? Here's something I'm going to try out. We're going to debug because sometimes weird stuff happens. I'm pretty sure it is undefined the value. Yeah, it's undefined the value. It's almost as if ordered at was reset. I'm just going to grab through code real quick. Ordered at and see what have we got. New date. Let's check out right here. Ordered at. I see how this is happening. Okay. I see what's happening here. This is not what we want, actually. What we want to do is say JSON is equal to object.assign JSON. The problem is mutation. I was modifying the original object right here. I should probably double check that I'm not. Okay, this one's fine to modify the original object because this is going out. And this one, but this one's going in. So we don't want to modify the original. That was my problemo. All right. So cool. Solve that problem. And then, but if I'd pulled the value back out of the database, it would have still been there. Let's see. My Pakistan, what's up? Thanks for letting me know who you are and maybe where you're from. Are you from Pakistan? I don't really know much about Pakistan. I don't hear the good things about it. I think that when we communicate internationally, it's good to get a beat on what is it that other people hear about your country. I don't know what other people hear about America, for example. You know, China. I've been to China. I know they don't know anything about what's going on in the world through what's readily available because I've read the English version of a Chinese newspaper and it blew my mind. I could talk about that experience another time, but it is completely made up. when you read world events over there. And I imagine to some degree over here it's the same. But when I hear about Pakistan, it's usually only because somebody launched a missile at somebody else, unfortunately. All right. Bum, 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 bum. What are we going to do here? I'm just going to check it again? No, I don't need to check it again. Well, I should. It doesn't cost much. Just your voice. No, just a few seconds. All right, now order.dat comes through. Problem is that, no, 24 hours. Yep, 24 hours. That's great. So, looks good. Everything here looks good. We are brother. Please come, Pakistan. We give you our best. Okay, I actually have a little bit of a hard time understanding that. I think what you're saying is we're friendly. Come and enjoy. Okay. So what I need to do before I forget is I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to copy this over. Gosh, that's a long file. That's too long. That is really long. I can't believe that it's that long. Wow. All right, let's see what this is saying. We're going to vim lib session. We're going to paste it. Yeah, it's closed up on 1,000 lines. That is what I would consider to be a pretty long file. Ripe for the splitting upping. And the reason I'm doing this is just so I can easily do a diff. I think there was 3 places maybe where I had changed things. I think verification was, or verifier was another one. Let's see, lib. I didn't change any of these other ones, but I might have changed that one. All right, let's see. Probably mostly some console debugs. So let's just go ahead and delete those because those we don't need to worry about. I'm going to do that here too. And let's see, do I do that here too? All right, so now I'm going to do my get diff. And okay. Now all of that's passing through properly. And let's say this was bug fix, allow return secret in dev mode. Do. Okay. All right. I want to learn about coding. I know you are best in coding. Can you help me learn? I also learned some basic language from YouTube, but I want to learn all. I am curious about coding and very excited. Well, so like I said to Umcar before, I've got a secondary channel that is more about teaching coding in a more concise way, and I do want to continue to develop that channel. So that is Beyond Code Bootcamp. and I will link you to a playlist. But what I do when I go live here, I'm usually working on projects. And sometimes if I'm doing teaching material, I will edit it and then I will put it back over here. So I'm going to go click on, let's see, can I get it to go to, this is not the right thing. I want it to go to the channel, Beyond Code Bootcamp. Let's go to the channel. Let's go to playlists. Here we are. Should get a few more subscribers. Actually, I should check and see. Are we eligible for custom domain yet? Not yet eligible for custom domain. Okay. So that should be coming up soon, though. Yeah, I should plug this a little more, I guess. But, gosh, why does it not sort the playlist by awesomeness? There we go. I think it's sorted by date. This is the playlist to look at. Whoops. There you go. Beyond Code Bootcamp 2021. And this is, there's some stuff in here that's, I mean, it's not a perfected course. It was my first run at it. And it doesn't go all the way up to where I wanted to take it. It just goes to, through a bit of Bash. But I think that's what you should start with. You should start with Bash. All right. And I am being bugged out of my mind with this chair, so give me a second. Got ye old pipe wrench here. I'm going to take ye old pipe wrench and fix ye old chair. Ow! That was my toe. What is going on? So, here we are. I don't know what. It's kind of leaking. I'm just going to have to send it back, I guess. I'm just going to check nothing's wrong with the chair itself, if I can. And that looks right. I don't know. But you can only go in so deep. The metal's not bent or anything. Alright, I'm going to set the chair back on here again. Because sometimes when I reset it... Oh, yep. Now it's gone all the way up. Alright. Oh, and I need to wipe my hand off now. I got grease on it. There we go. See, the benefit of having the office in the garage is that on the odd occasion when I need the pipe wrench. Well, there it is. So now it's sitting just sturdy fine. It's almost like when the chair settles in on the cylinder, then it pushes on the release. So when I take it off and put it back on, the chair hasn't settled in yet. There we go. That feels much better. Can I help you to fix the chair? Yeah, go ahead. Why Vim over VS Code? I use VS Code for work. It just helps a lot for TS and JS with tons of plugins. Every type of plugin that's available for VS Code was already available for Vim first. And the reason is because if you're using VS Code and you're a new developer, you might be crippling yourself because you're not learning how to use the computer. And if you're going to be a programmer, you should learn how to use programs and the basics of the computer. You should be familiar with files and folders. And should is a very moralistic word. I'm doing what everybody else does and adding extra endings to words. Moral already is an adjective, or yeah, I don't need to make it moralistic. I don't need to adjectivify the word. Anyway, so, but the reason I say this is, well, one, I just like working with people better who know how to use a computer. I find it very irritating to work with programmers that don't know anything about how a computer works, because you fundamentally have to deal with computer problems when you're programming. You have to deal with a file is missing or corrupted. You have to deal with the computer. And so if you try to have all these higher level apps that abstract away the computer from you so that you can just focus on the logic or focus on the web page, servers are computers. When you send a web request across a network, that is essentially a file connection. It is a network stream is similar to a file stream, except that a network stream is bidirectional and a file stream is single directional. A file you can seek, a network stream you typically can't seek, although there's some buffer abstractions that will allow you to seek on a network stream. But anyway, learning how to use the command line and work with files and folders and work with the shell, I think, is inherently valuable. And if you look at Stack Overflow's earning reports, you will see that people who know Bash earn more than people who don't know Bash. And Bash is not something difficult to learn. It's just people who know Bash know how to work with files and folders and network connections. The reason that I personally use Vim is because I like to work on the server itself, because if you work on localhost, you're not working in the real environment. So I like to develop as close to the real environment as I can. I don't like to have to deal with doing funny things to make webhooks work or to make authentication flows work, etc., etc. I just like to develop in production. It's way more than worth $5 a month for me to have a DigitalOcean droplet and have that set up. By the way, if you check down the doobly-doo, there is 60 days, $100 free on DigitalOcean with my little affiliate code, and then I get like a $5 kickback if you actually do decide to go through with it. And I talk about that in the playlist that I linked to earlier. No, Vim mode and VS Code is not a good starting point, because the purpose is not Vim, it's the command line. It's using the computer. That said, whatever works for you. But go watch the video that I have in the playlist on Vim. Vim is really simple. It takes 5 minutes to learn and 50 years to master, but don't master it. Don't worry about that. One of the problems I have with Vim is the Vim community, because people are too into Vim, I guess. Vim is just a tool. It's also a religion, apparently, as most things are, but it's a tool. And so you can learn the 12 or so things that you need, and then you don't have to learn all the rest. I haven't. I've been using Vim for over 10 years, and all the time people teach me new things, and I just don't care. I don't need to become the world's foremost expert in Vim. I don't like Vim in that way. I like Vim because it's a tool that works everywhere. If you could log into a phone, if you can log into an Apple Watch, if you log into your router, any computer, if you log into your thermostat, Vim is going to be there. It's universally available on all computers except for the minority of computers that are Windows computers. Most computers are Unix. It's either BSD or Linux. If it's Mac, it's BSD. If it's Android, it's Linux. Things like your thermostats could be microcontrollers if they're a smart thermostat, they're probably running Android, so they're running Linux. Your car is running Linux or BSD. Your PlayStation's running BSD, so on and so on and so on. And then there's, the the laptops, which are not the majority of computers that are Windows, and that's all the Windows devices. Too difficult key bindings. I'm used to VS Code. It's but you don't have to learn the key bindings. That's the thing. You can use the arrow keys. You just go up and down, and then the only thing that you need to know is hit I to insert, and then hit escape. That's it. That's all you really need to know. If you want to search, it's slash. And that works in all sorts of things. You'll find that the key bindings for Vim also work in most programs. So most command line programs, if you do start learning the JKHL, and if you do start learning some of the other things, there's also Vim Adventures in Vim. Was it Vim Adventures in Vim, something like that. This is a fun little game, Vim Adventures. It's a fun little game. It's worth paying for, just to kind of get you the muscle memory. Vim Adventures. But you're parroting, and I might be projecting here, but you're parroting Vim key bindings are too hard. Now, what I will grant you is probably somebody tried to introduce you into the Vim key bindings, and they tried to explain 100 million things that you need. But you don't need 100 million things. All you need is to know you can use the arrow keys, and I'm going to link you to Vim Essentials as well. Vim Essentials. You need the Vim Essentials. So here you go. And I probably should put on this cheat sheet actually the essentials that you need to know in terms of just using it. But it's I for insert mode, escape for command mode, slash is search, and then colon WQ bang to write, quit, force. And you can mix those around. You can do write force, you can do quit force, which will quit without writing. And that is what you need to know to be productive in Vim. Now, learning about all the buffers, you'll find, when you learn about buffers, it's nice that you can have 2 or 3 things in your copy and paste buffer. That's a real benefit. I don't think you do get that on Windows. I think now commands or Windows C will create multiple copy buffers for you. The find and replace in Vim is really good. But here's the thing. The find and replace on the command line is better using tools like SD and FZF and, just learning the command line tools in general. It's not about Vim. It's about the computer and searching files and folders. So here are the developer tools that I recommend. This is also down in the doobly-doo. So most of these are things that I use on a weekly basis. Some of them I use on a daily basis. I'm always using RG, which is a nice replacement for grep. I'm always using SD, which is a nice replacement for sed. And the nice thing about the modern tools is that they work on Windows, Mac, and Linux. And that's what most of web install is stuff that works everywhere. Now, the Vim Essentials, unfortunately, I have not written the PowerShell script installer for them, but I'd love help with that if there's a Windows person who wants to help with that. Yeah. And again, you don't have to, but I think it's important that you learn how to use the computer and not just abstract everything away in apps. You will be more valuable. But then again, there's also this weird time that we live in where ignorance is prized. There's a lot of things that have gone backwards recently. And one thing is people are actually proud of their ignorance. They're proud of how much they don't know. Which is kind of a weird thing. And it's somewhat shunned to learn, at least in America. When people talk about programming, a lot of them talk very high-minded that if you just don't learn how to use the computer and you don't learn how a server works because it's too complex, you can't understand. That's this air of superiority about being ignorant on purpose. And, I just said I'm ignorant on purpose about Vim, but that's because I don't need to learn all 500 things, But when it comes to the computer, you need to understand the network. You need to understand files and folders. You need to know what HTTP headers are. You need to know how to search through files. You need to know how to replace things in files. You can get by without knowing these things, but I don't know. I don't know if I really even have a good argument for it. It makes me sad that people aren't learning the basics anymore. And it's kind of an emotional thing for me. So it's hard to make a rational, constructive argument about it. Anyway, I'm going to end that rant and then focus back on what it is I actually need to do, which is, and by the way, no blame to you at all for, I get on rants, I get distracted. So yeah, search works in less. Yes. So you'll find that less, more, anything that has a pager, bat, anything that has a pager, the HJKL, the search, all that stuff works. And you'll find that there's a couple of Emacs key bindings that work in places too. You'll find that some of the, and key bindings is kind of a strong word to use, but yeah, the control sequences or the command sequences. Some of the ones for Emacs work in Bash as well. So the ones that I know that I use all the time in Bash are Command A to go to the start of a line, Command A, and then Command E to go, Command E to go to the end of a line. And then if you do, what is it? Is it Alt? No. Is it Control? No. Is it, oh gosh, I forget what it is. But there's one that lets you skip words. So, no, it's not this one. Yeah, okay, it's Alt. So Alt will let you skip words if you use Alt and arrow. Those are a couple of things that are useful. And then W in Vim skips words. But again, I don't recommend that you try to learn all of the hundreds of things you can do in Vim. Just learn the 10 or 12 you need. And I do want to do a mini course on Vim at some point that's, here's the things that the 10 things you must know, and then here's how to learn regular expressions. The one thing that I don't like about Vim is that because it's old, it uses old regular expressions rather than modern. So if you're using JavaScript, Go, and Rust or other modern languages, the regular expression syntax is slightly different, where you put the slashes and things. Anyway, so I was looking to see if I can test this, and now that I'm getting back the code that I'm supposed to get back, oh, wait, I'm still not getting back the code that I'm supposed to get back. Oh, darn it, I still have a problem. Where is my problem? But I'm seeing the code logged out, and I'm seeing security giving out secret verification code to localhost. So why is code not showing up there? No, that's okay that it's not showing up there. It's showing up here. And I had it out on the screen. Cool. So I am at the point where I can move on past this part to the next piece, which is to do the check, which I should have been able to do that anyway, actually. So let's see. So I can do the check here. And we should get back a decent status. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this again. Boop. Okay. And the status now includes a couple of extra details. In particular, ordered at and ordered by. And then expires at. We don't have duration, and I want duration to be in there. So let me take a peek at why that is. I think that might need to be one of these things that I, whoops, that's not what I went to do. Okay, code equals. Nope, not in verifier. It is in Magic Link. Here we go. Sorry, I keep making that popping noise. I don't know why I'm doing that. If it annoys you, let me know. I do make the popping noise a bit. I don't know if I don't know if I do it by myself. I think I do probably, but I think I do it more when I'm on camera, just as a nervous tick of filling silence or something. Well, there we go. Is this the right place for this to go? Duration, yeah, that's a good place for this to go. And then when we do check, we want the duration to come back as well, right? Do we? Oh, and duration did come back here. I want duration to come back in the other places. Okay. So let's look for anywhere there's an expires at, there should also be a duration. Just 2 places. Cool. So I'm just going to bring that over to here real quick. Expires at, and then duration. Cool. So that's looking good. Yeah, option arrow. Yep. Oh, hey, we got several more people that have joined in recently. Hi, I'm AJ. I am midnight coding. I'm actually doing some work stuff. I went to the pumpkin patch today with the waifu and kiddos, and we had a great time. In fact, I don't think she sent any of the pictures out, but if she had, I might show one. Let me check real quick and see if she sent out any of the... Oh yeah, she did send out some of the pictures. Let me see if I can grab one. That's a good one. Oh, our little girl, she's so charming. Okay, that one... Exposure might have been a little high on that. Oh well. She's so cute. Gosh. Everybody thinks that about their kids, right? I'll see if I can pull one up on screen for a second. I'm going to send all these to this computer. Right? Is that... Can I say send all? 13 photos? Select all of them. See, I get distracted all on my own. But I'll show you all one of these pictures. If I can. Can I figure this out? I don't know how to do this. I'm tarded. Okay, I'm just going to find one, and then we'll go back to coding, I promise. Here, I'll pick the dumbest one. Okay, we got 2 came in, and then I'm going to pick this one too. This one's kind of fun. Okay. This is just to prove that despite the fact that I work odd hours and I'm a workaholic and I really like code, that I can still be a cool dad too sometimes. Let's see here. There we are. Boom. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. See, that's my little girl. And then, yeah, here we are again. Whoops. Carrying her into the silo of sweets. We didn't get any sweets, though. Okay, I'm done with that now. I'll go back. So actually, boy, newborn boy, he's doing well. Thanks for asking. He is, he can already roll. He's only a month old. Of course, it seems that with all of the things kids do developmentally, all kids, I'm coming to this realization, I think that everybody wants to feel that their kid's more advanced. Well, your kid's always going to be more advanced along one metric or another. If they're better at their motor skills, if they develop their motor skills sooner, maybe they're not going to develop their language skills sooner. If they develop their language skills sooner, maybe they're not going to develop something else. So I don't know that he's really, that much better off than average, but because he'll probably be behind in some other area. But the fact that he can already roll over, and I guess today is 1 month. It seems to be something that's kind of cool. All right, so now we're going to check this. First, we need to check with a bad code. And what was it? I need to actually get the name of that thing as it goes out. I think it is is it code? No, we're not calling it code. We're calling it by this long name, Development Secret Verification Code. Yeah. So here it is this. Boom. Pew pew. Ka-chow. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we did before, except I might bake in the getting it wrong and starting over. So what we should be able to do, okay, is we should be able to not pass anything in at all. No, we have to pass in at least receipt. So we pass in receipt. Okay. I want to pass in a wrong code. And we should have up to 5. So we've got bad 1, bad 2, bad 3, bad 4, bad 5. And so after this one, what we should do, so in status, we want to check if not status dot, I don't know, duration. Then throw new error. Let's see, and then check. I guess we don't want the check to must okay. No, we do. We do want it to must okay. So missing expected value, expected key, duration. Duration is another one of those ones where I have a hard time putting it out, typing it correctly the first try. And then let's do I guess actually we will do this. We will do like so, like that. And then I guess it won't help to say that duration, because it'll be empty. So it was sufficient just to have it the way that I had it, I guess. All right. Okay, we'll do that. And then we should be able to have the bad one, and then we should be able to catch, and then we should be able to do object to pass that straight through. And then we should be able to go here and say error, and then if error instance of error. So we say if not instance of error, then we throw new error. Expected error for bad code check. So that's all I really care about on that one. And then we should be able to do the same thing this many more times. So let's just say must error. So we'll have a must okay and we'll have a must error. I tend to do that a lot. I really do need to make some sort of template for this so that I'm not retyping it every time. I mean, it's only a few yeah. I guess return nothing because we don't care. Must error. And that's different between a HTTP must error and this kind of must error. But yeah, I think we actually do want these to be the same. We're going to have up to a bad 6. And these will actually be different types of error, but that's okay. What do we got here? In Jiu-Jitsu, roll means to grapple. So when you said he can roll, I imagine him breaking people's arms. Yeah, he's a little bit far from that. We'll see. Okay, and then if we use the correct code, so a couple of things should happen here. One, after the 5th, so this one, after bad 4, we should still be able to do a check, and it should be okay. But after bad 5, we should not be able to do a check. And then we also should not be able to use the correct code. So if we put in here, let's find what's the good code called. Let code equals okay. So here we are. This one should succeed, this one should fail, and then this one should also fail. And then after that, we're going to start all over again. So this is max out the failures is what we're doing here. And then we're going to do another one where we don't max out the failures and we just try to get success. I guess we could try for success here as well. Yeah, and that shouldn't max out anything. So this one, that should work. And I think we should get more information from this when it works. But we're going to max out the failures. Let's see. I'm just going to call this better for right now. I don't know what to call it, but it should be a more complete object when the code passes. I think I'm not 100% sure on that. Pass is better. Stupid name. Just calling it something. Alrighty, and then we're not going to be able to do the redeem on this one because we maxed out the errors. So max redemption. Let's see, we got any more? Wow, lots of people joining in. Well, hello everybody. Welcome. I'm AJ. What is your name? And what brings you to the channel tonight? It is nice to see the channel grow. This is kind of an interesting thing. I've been doing this for several months, but they said, I think, whoever they are is, whatever. Somewhere I had heard that it takes about 6 months before you start to be able to interact with people regularly. And then after that point, it starts to balloon. And so it's the really, really long 0 viewers for the first 6 months. And then you start to get people. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. So while we are young, that reminds me of that song by, is it Fun? F-U-N? I think it's punctuated. F period U period N period. I think that's what it's called. They did that anthem a few years back that was 10 years back that was really popular. Anyway, they have, I think it was called We Are Young. Anyway, so Discord. If you want to join in on the Discord, feel free to do so. I don't know what we're going to do with the Discord yet, but somebody asked for one, and now we started it, and at the very least I post on there. But sometimes people ask questions, or there's a little bit of chatter. So feel free to join in if you want to do that, and feel free to ask me questions at any time. And I will answer them when I can. To give a recap for those that joined in recently, I'm just working on some automated tests right now for an authentication process, and we're getting to the good part because the tests are mostly passing now. I think we'll see when I run this right now what happens. But I'm going to build out. Excuse me, sorry. Yanni. I don't need to worry about that. I do want to bring this one around. Let's see, do I want to console.log the status here? And this, I should just put in some nothings just to give some space. Redeem. And this other one's gonna be fail. And I'll figure out how I want these to be organized later, but I'm just doing this for right now. Also, let me know if you want to see not only, because, oh, where did it go? Oh, what? Oh, I totally don't have my key tool on. Hold on, what is it called? I think it's called Keycast. Keycaster, I I think it's caster, keycaster.app. There we go. So what I was going to say is let me know if you also want, there we go. So you're going to see my command keys, but if you want to see everything, I can put on everything. You just have to help me to not, let's see. This would be, whoa, 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 what happened? That's not everything. Oh, that's not what I was doing. Let me see. Display only command keys. So if we do this, the problem is it gets spammed with all the arrow keys and, all the other stuff there. So some people will find that annoying. So let me know what you like, and I'll flip it one way or the other, but I'll leave it just the command keys for now. Okay, what was I doing? I was saying that I want to be able to print out up top here. Probably right here would be good. I just want to say, first we're going to try to fail. And so I don't have any sort of framework in place for this yet. I'm just doing the manual testing. I'm just building out the testing, and so we'll get more legit as we go. All right. And then I do want, let's go back up to here. Let's bring this one all the way to the top, like we never stop. Oh, okay. And we need code here. Oh, we need the same thing from there. We need to do that down here. Okay. All right, so we're going to check the status, and then we should be able to still redeem the code afterwards. Oh, yeah, I want to check the status, and then I still want to be able to redeem the code. So this should have tokens in it. That should be what's neat about this. So this should be tokens. All right. So if everything goes well, then what we're going to see is some failures, must error. Yeah, because it's not going to be okay. All right, that's all right. Oh, we don't have the key duration because I haven't restarted the server. Over in the other screen, I've got server logs up and restarting the server. So just restarted the server. Now the duration key should be there, but it is not still. So let's think about that for a second. Why is it still missing duration? Let me go track this down. Let's see, node modules, magic link, duration. Should be right here. It's sent out with JSON right there. Alrighty. Now that should be there. By all means, it's there. I can, you see it, right? This is the bit of code where, which bit of code is this? That's order verification. Okay, where's the other one at? This one is check status. Okay, so maybe I missed one. Because what we should have is when we, wait, no, order verification is the one, because that's where, it's confusing language. We're not verifying the order. We're ordering a verification. So duration is there. Let me check. It's printed out to the screen here. Okay. And then check status. It's brought back there. And this is saved in the database, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I should just do a little console.loggy mcloglog. Oh, you know what? Let me try out my new buffer. So, there we go. See, that's the part where it actually might be useful if I had put if I had the full, we're gonna display everything. If this gets annoying, let me know, because I want you to be able to see when I do, for example, that or that. I want you to be able to see that I'm using quote and that kind of thing, and escape and what keys I'm hitting in Vim. But you're also going to see a lot of nervous ticks, because a lot of times while I'm thinking, I just hit escape incessantly. So again, or I go back and forth like this, or up and down. Anyway, so this is going to be debug check status. And then if it's coming back here, we should see it. I guess what I want to do also is make sure that in my little test here that my check function that's returning to JSON.body. Let's do that. And let's do that here as well. That's the thing that I wasn't doing that I should have been doing. But I am doing that here, am I not? No, because it's, let's see, must OK. All right, so this actually is not resp. This is, we could call it body, we could call it result, but that's the better thing to call it, because it is not the response object at this point. Once we've run the must OK function, it is then the body. So I do want to see, yeah, that's okay. We can do it that way. So the question is, yeah, let's log out status here. And a fail is probably not a good name for this. We are trying to get it to fail. Did I forget to set it to JSON parse? I think I did. This one is a very tricksy one that I sometimes forget. Because I'm replicating a bug that existed, well, I consider it to be a bug that existed in the original request module for the sake of compatibility, and it kicks me in the butt every time. If the headers are set to JSON, it still doesn't parse it as JSON unless you tell it to. So that's where this check needs, let's see where we're using request here. All right, there. I'm considering releasing a version that completely breaks compatibility with it for my own purposes. Okay, so now that's passing, I think. What did we get to? Yeah, so right there, that's where we start this test. So we're checking for failure. Invalid code. Code invalid. That verification code isn't valid. It might not exist or be expired. So that's actually what we want. Okay, so pass is better. So that's a passing one. And then let me see if the attempts are going up. I'm looking at this over here. The attempt count. I don't have the attempt count being logged out, but it's tracking every time you try an invalid code. It increments that in the database, which, by the way, doing increment for something like that is dangerous, because you can have multiple requests go in at the same time on different servers and both increment the value that they found by 1. So they both read the value 4, they both increment it to 5, then they both write 5. And so you can get extra attempts this way. There is a way to write a rather customized query where you set in the query itself, you do a subquery. So you say, okay, fetch the current value 4, and then insert the value 5. And I think that because when you do a write on a row, the row is locked, that this would prevent that at the database level. But it's a little bit awkward to write that query. So just kind of a thing to be aware of when you're, if you're using an increment for something with security, it can be circumvented unless you write your increment in a really good way. And the best way to write it would be to log out the attempts and then do a sum of the attempts. Or maybe that's not the best way, because you don't want to keep that data in the database forever necessarily. So that could get just kind of nasty to have all of those. But that's another way to go about it. Generally, where security is concerned, you don't ever want to delete records. You just want to revoke them or mark them as invalid. But you want to keep everything that ever happened. Okay, so pass is better. Is it any better? These seem to be the same. Okay. There's passes better. All right, so that passes. And then this one should have an error. So let me just console.log pass. And let's not call this fail. Should expire code after 5 failures. Failed attempts. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. I wish I could block out the J, K, H, and L keys. Or only have it. There needs to be a Vim keylogger specifically. That would be pretty cool. Oh, I see we got some more people joining. Hello, I'm AJ. I'd love to know who you are, where you're from, what you do. And feel free to ask me any questions. Also, we recently started a Discord, so if you want to check that out, it should be in the chat. It should be oh yeah, right there. It's the most recent message if you scroll up on whatever platform you're using. Should be. If not, let me know. Let's see. Yeah, it says it successfully posted. And I'm just working on some automated tests. I'm starting out with them being fairly manual. Okay, so pass is better. And then we fail must OK, error at must OK. But we expect an error at must OK. So I'm a little bit confused by this. Line 72. I'm going to check out line 72. Line 72. All right, let's see, where did that come from? I lost the stack trace already. Oops. Okay, so must okay, but pass is better. But I just did dot catch. Oh, I didn't catch this one here. There we go. Boom. That's what I was missing. Okay, now we should get through to this pass, and I'm just going to put a process.exit right here so that we can test that we get to this pass. Okay, good. So we get to that pass, which means I can get rid of the console logs that are here. We don't need that console.log anymore. We don't need this console.log. And then at this point, I could rename this to an info. We can do some other stuff with this later. And then console.info. And then I think I have the green pass right there. Okay. Let's try this out. See what happens if we just keep going. All right, so it's still logging out a bunch of stuff. I'll have to check out why that is. And then we get to a fail. Again, it looks like comes from line 120 or line 53. Let's check out. Okay, ID and or code is missing from finalize. All right. Probably at line 120. Let's try line 120. What's line 120? Redeem. Okay. So what happened here then? Code. Should be code. Status. Tokens. Tokens. And then I'll say status. Well, that was dumb. I can't spell status. I don't know how. It's beyond me. This would actually be better, not status. And then pass is better. There we go. We can get rid of that one. Okay, nearly max out the failed attempts. Max out, fully max out the failed attempts. Check that code is expired. Okay. And then here, all right, let's try that again. So what didn't go well here? Status went fine. Why is it telling me that ID and or code is missing at line 122? Let's go check it out. It's probably a simple explanation, such as there not being anything. Oh wait, I forgot to look at code. Yeah, code is there, so code's defined. We're good on that, which means that I probably just didn't define it in this. Redeem. Yeah, I'm using the wrong thingy, because we could redeem or exchange. So what I should be able to see is that if I try with the receipt, then we're going to have a then. Oh, whoops, wrong. I need to catch first, and then dot then must error. So this one, we don't want it to be able to work. And this one should work. And we should get back the tokens. And then we should be able to do the same thing again with this one. And then it should work. Let me see, we got anything here? So who all's on right now? I think we've got a lot of regulars, but I don't really know. Just kind of curious here. Looks like most everybody's on YouTube. If you also Twitch, I am also twitch.tv/CoolAge86. And if you watch on Twitch, then my average stream count will go up. And as I've said before, and I know this makes me, shows my weakness, but I am getting tempted by their gamification. So I am doing what they want me to do by trying to push people over to Twitch to get viewers on Twitch so that I can unlock my... What I need to do is set a stream that's only going to be so many minutes long, say 15 minutes long, that's really exciting about something, announce it ahead of time, and then get my 3 average viewers on Twitch. then that's the way I need to do it. I'm never going to get 3 average viewers on Twitch on a 4-hour stream. It's just not going to happen. Anyway, so I need to go. So if receipt, then we're going to do one thing. And then I reserved this so that I could put what the response looks like, but then I did not. So this would actually be code, and then else. I guess it doesn't matter. Really, these probably should be the same. Gosh, I can't type. Recepit, my favorite. Yeah. I should let body here. And does this look right? Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Hey, the redeem passed as well. Cool. But wait, why is there only one token back? Ah, because it is an ID token. So that's expected. Cool, but I should see tokens twice because we're asking for tokens twice. All right, so let's take a look there. All right, good. Excellent. What even email am I using? I should have put in the test value there. Okay. All right. So this is working again. Looks good. I am seeing in the logs a kind of a strange error popping up. It appears to be coming from session. Let's try 271 around here. It says cannot destructure property of intermediate value because it is undefined. I see where that's a problem. I know exactly why this is happening. And let me think about this for a second. I'm not sure why it's happening right here. I know why it's happening in general. Okay. Let's see. Strategy handlers. Is this where I'm just setting it up? Okay. I'm going to go check out where this is being used real quick. So what happens if this fails? So what's happening is there's a secondary use case for this strategy handler now. It used to be that the strategy handler would send the response, but now I've made it so that the strategy handler doesn't have to. It can sorry, let me rephrase that. It used to be that the strategy handler did not receive the response object and the response was handled here. But now it does get the response object and it can handle the response. And if it does handle the response, then it's not going to give back the object that it used to give back. And so what we need to do right here is pretty simply just set let all claims equal. And then if not all claims, then we can just return, and then we can do all claims here like this. That should work. And then to do deprecate, because I think all of this should be able to go away. To do copy where claims are set up. Move this to where, I don't know about that. All right, let me do a little diff here and see what we're sitting at. Some white space changes. Let's do diff without white space. All right, we added duration, fix that bug. So this is just going to be bug fix. And then it is don't destructure nothing. Yeah. Oops. Suppose it'd be good to do that first. So one issue that I have with destructuring is that I don't know. I don't know if I like destructuring. I think it makes code, it makes documentation more readable, but it makes code more error prone. At least in JavaScript. And in Rust too. In Rust, I think it actually makes the code more difficult to read. It doesn't make it more error prone because you can't have errors of that nature in Rust. Code literally doesn't compile. I should write more in Rust. I need to find a good reason to do some Rust at work. I've got a good reason to do Go, but I don't have a good reason to do Rust. At least not that I can think of. Because we don't really do anything with machine learning. And we don't have anything that's really bare metal. And we don't have anyone else that likes Rust, I don't think. I don't know. I wonder, I should ask one of my coworkers to look into it and see what he thinks. Immediately, I think he wouldn't like it because typed languages are not something that he's very much a fan of, but the mathematical perfection of Rust may intrigue him. Okay. So it seems that we could do if not tokens dot id token throw new error expected ID token. And we can do the same thing here. We don't need to log out the tokens. And we don't really need the status. And it is not any better, by the way. Turns out it's not. I do maybe want to make it better, give more information back when you check with the code. Okay. Should redeem and exchange code. And I don't know why I didn't do this. Let me try this out. So I could set the base URL to be localhost, but then I could set, well, this is what I could do. We could take the base URL and we could let host name equals base URL dot replace. How do we want to do this? HTTP. Let's say starting with HTTP s://. Okay, that would be the host name. Or there we go. So that could be the host name. And then we could do, maybe we could do that. And then we could just say HTTP localhost. But then we could say headers host name. I think that works. Maybe I should have just left that. So I just need to copy this everywhere there's a URL. Let's see if the test still pass with this. So what I'd have to do is I would have to pick the port. Which I think, I don't remember what port we are locally. Let me check and see. $3,500? Oh gosh, are we still on node 14 there? Ooh. I should check that out. What version of Node are we actually on? 16.1? Good thing I discovered this, because I thought we were updated. 16.11.1? There we go. Okay, 16.11.1. That's the version of Node that we intended to be on. Okay, and then what was the bit that I just picked up from there that I needed? It was the port. So I'm just going to put the port in here, hard-coded-ish for now. Okay, cool. Well, that worked a little bit better. And then let me go ahead and go back in. Was it here? No. I need to repeat that same change that I made in the other place. Okay. Is it header sent? That's probably what I should do there, but whatever. I'm going to do this for now. That's fine. All claims. There we go. Boom. And, you know, I should set this up with watch exec. I don't know why I don't have it set up with watch exec. Do we have watch exec installed here? Watch exec. Okay, well, we do now. So let me go set this up with watch exec. We're going to go do... do bin watch exec -r -e.js. There we go. Okay. So now every time I edit a JavaScript file, let's say I just edit this one. No? Maybe it excludes get ignore. Let me try this. No? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let me check out how I'm using it locally. Watch exec re npm run start. Well, it's weird because it does run it all. Oh, you know what? I think I need to do system, what is it? System ctl daemon reload or something like that. Yeah, I think that was it. Cool. Yeah, now it's being run by watch exec. Sweet. Cool. Yep, that's doing it. All right, now every time I edit a file, it restarts the server. That's going to get on my nerves in some ways, but it's going to help me in others. Okay, I don't know why I didn't do that a year ago. Now, what was the problem I was actually trying to solve? I think it had to do with, I don't know. I think I solved it already. Okay. I did see some errors go through. Ecode retry, not a problem. And why do we have a debug check status? Okay, just some junk left over. Oh wait, but now is local is true. Sweet. That's exactly what I wanted. Cool beans. All right, I'm going to run this one more time, and then I think I'm going to call it a night because it is 1:03 a.m. and I want to get a good night's sleep so that I can be on my top game tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just going to put this in. Let's see. How was I doing this auth before? All right. So I'm going to move this under tests, and we're going to put it under, what should I call this one? Verification self-test. I need to also take this and move it into the Auth 3000 repo, because there's a test that's like that I could have already used, but it needed to be updated anyway, and so I just thought it'd be, I don't know, maybe it would have been better to just update the existing test rather than write a new one in a different repository. Testing is one of the areas where I'm a little bit weak. See, here's the whole magic link bit. It's all in here already. Expect 4xx. And this is in some ways a better test, but there's updates that I need to make to it. So I'll go back through this later. I can integrate the two and call it the best of both worlds. I don't actually like that name, tests. Let's see. What should I call this one? It's not verification self-test. It actually does send the email. If I go look at my email right now, I've got a bajillion of these. Let me go see how flooded my inbox is right now. Yeah, I got about 50 of them. In BD, you know. There we go. Deleted. I was just checking out some other stuff too. Okay. So this test specifically is magic link login integration. I should just have a prefix for integration test versus other test. Integration. There we go. That was good. Okay, so this is bug fix plus, really it's test plus bug fix. Verify max attempts failure, and oh, you know what else needs to be in here that isn't right now? Let me just do this real quick. Did we test that state is there when we do the exchange? I don't think state is going to be there, but that's one thing that I do want to fix before I go, because that's really critical to everything that I've been doing today. So if I don't have that tested, then I'm going to look a fool, you know? And I think that that's not going to work right now. Oh no, it passes. Good. And I do just want to console.log tokens.state in both places so I can see it for myself real quick. And then we'll delete that and we'll commit it. Good. Okay. Should probably put something random in there instead of just foo every time. Where's foo at? Bar plus, let's see. Math.random. There we go. Let me run that one time. Oh, but I forgot to log the tokens. There we go. Tokens. Console.log tokens.state. All right, I'm going to try it again. Again, we're going to wait. And those values are the same, which is what I expect. Good. And then just to be clear that they're different the next time I run it. Yeah, they're different the next time I run it, but they're the same with each other. Good. That's what I expected. All right, I feel really good about that test. I also need to prevent it from actually sending the email. That's going to be on my to-do list there. Don't you know? But I'm glad to see these things are coming through nice and snappy. That's good. And then I probably should put in here one last thing is test. Let me put this on the other screen for just a second, just in case there's anything that shouldn't be in here that shows up. .env.test. Test username. Okay. And that really is test email. And env.test, do we have that set up for this one? Oops. It is set up here. Okay. And then this should be test username. That's good. Okay, so feature challenge response auth includes state and tests to prove it. There we go. I'm going to push that. All right. So I think that's good. Let me make sure this other one's pushed as well. All right, let's make sure these logs. We're going to npm install save blah 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 blah. Wait, is that it? Hold on. That looks pretty similar to what was there. Oh, 9EB, 9E, D8E. Those look similar. That's all it was. Okay. 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 So with that, what do we need here? So the next bit that I need to do, which I'm going to be doing yesterday, which is not going to be on stream, is I'm going to be doing yesterday. Did I just say what I'm going to be doing yesterday? What I will do yesterday? I think I did. So what I'm going to be doing yesterday, as I was just about to say, is going through a few of the other endpoints and making sure that they should be able to give back the code as well. I don't know that it really matters that they can give back the code, actually. I have to manually inspect the emails that go out. I might want to do something so that I can have the email come back in the response and then do a little regex magic on it. But essentially, there are... Well, I need to do the change password process. I need to test that. Let me put a little to-do here. Do I have my to-do file? I wonder what all is in there. Let me check that real quick. Yeah. Let me see. Off tests. So we got change password. We've got new user to account. We've got change email. And then let me see. What were the other ones? Sorry, I decided to swap you a couple of messages here. Okay, and let me go here. Oh. I need to go back to that later. Where's the message I'm looking for? This is the message you're looking for. Man. So I'm trying to get back to the point of this thread. That was the top of it. Okay, new user to account, change email, reset password, magic link. New user to account, change password. And we just did the magic link process. Yeah, okay. I think, so I'm going to have to put the tests in for these. They're basically just different URLs. They're using the same code or slightly different uses of the same code. So for example, the change password, the difference is that we pass in a password and then I should be able to check that I can log in with that password. So I should be able to gen random password. So test login with random password should fail. And then test login, update or used, forgot password challenge. Test login again should pass. To update password, yeah. New user to account. This is testing that we can side channel the flow. So test that side channel verification works. So we're going to do a verification, but it's not going to be through the normal flow. It's going to be through the side channel, which really shouldn't make that much difference at all. Because it's when the, it's just different. It's going to send the email differently. And then change email is almost the exact same thing as change password. No. Change email is almost the same thing as new user to account. So both emails should send. All right. All right, that's what I got. So I'm going to log out of there. Boom. Feel good about it. Anyway, so like if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, because every time helps. But if you like what you like, you do get more of what you like. So there's that. Doobly-doo, links, related stuff, you know. It's in the YouTube section. And if somebody... Twitch is still confusing to me, which is probably why I don't have much activity on Twitch. Most of it's on YouTube. But if somebody knows how to Twitch better and to get a standard description that sticks, I don't even know where you set the description until after the fact. But I don't even know how to use Twitch. As far as I know, you use a client for Twitch, and I'm using Restream as my client for Twitch. And so I don't even know how to set the description. I couldn't find it except for in the studio after the fact. I don't know how to preemptively set it. I guess I should just Google that because I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, y'all have a good night or good morning or good day or good noon or whatever it is, wherever you are, and have the best one ever. With that said, adios. With that said, that's not what I meant to say. That said, with that, I guess it works. Yeah, whatever. There we go. We got a nice F19. Now you know that my F19 is what's supposed to be my thanks for watching screen. It's not working.